Sige.
Ayan. Okay. Sige, so welcome everyone. Good afternoon to our viewers. Ayan, so thank you very much for all who are watching live. And if you're watching us in recorded fashion, that's fine. You can send us some of your questions in the comment section. But before that, let me give you a 30-second break before we'll just set up and then balik tayo after 30 seconds. Okay, we're back. Welcome to our viewers. Okay, so this is DJ Di Maliwat. Welcome to Project Six Figures. And with me is Miss George Carlos. She is one of the founders of Permitly. And of course, si Miss Edna Palma, one of the head account managers of Permitly as well, whom will be helping us answer all our questions and all our concerns when it comes to registering our business here in the Philippines. But of course, you're here mostly Filipinos naman din. So whether you're an OFW or here in locally in the Philippines, we will help you. So I want to say hi to the people who are watching. Type in the comment section, where are you located? Do you already have a business? Magre-renew ka ba ng negosyo? Or you're just about to start your own business? Type in the comment section. And also, you can ask in some of your questions para ma-address din natin. Miss Edna and George can also answer all of them. No? So, siguro first and foremost, what we can do is we should be able to introduce Permitly first. So let me just ask George Carlos. Miss George, can you tell us what Permitly is all about?
Sure, and thank you for having us, DJ. We're so excited to be here and to really help Filipinos start their own businesses. So, Permitly is a company under the CJ Management Group, and what we do is basically taking care of the unsexy side of starting a business, which is really the business registration process. So when starting a business in the Philippines, you're already worried about how to sell your product, how to form a team, things like that. And the business registration process is a little complicated, can be difficult, and you're sometimes not sure what is the right entity for you. So that's where we step in. We try to make it as smooth and seamless as possible. And what's great is you don't really have to leave your home. We have done everything online. We have our own Permitly kits and other processes, so you don't have to fill out too many forms, and we just take care of everything for you. So one day you wake up and all your forms are complete. So really, that's what we do here at Permitly.
Wow, thank you, George. No? So you're trying to make things easier for people. Tama yung ang ganda ng term na ginamit mo, that's the unsexy way, no? Because a lot of business owners want to just focus on not on the documentation but in their business, how to really make money and address the customers, diba? But a lot of times we need to really handle the documents, how to start. And na-mention mo nga kanina, nagkakwentuhan tayo before we start this live stream na even the renewal. Kasi minsan yun na nakakalimutan eh. Or, di ba, tuwing January, parang kailangan mag-renew, ganyan, umuulit na naman. So, even renewal Permitly does that. Right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
then,
We do that too. Because
okay, that's good.
like what you said, you're about to start a business and you're so focused on selling, right? Selling your product, marketing, hiring a good team, expanding. And imagine when you have to do the business registration yourself, you have to spend time to fill out the forms, to line up. It takes away how many weeks of your time instead of actually
Yeah.
spending that time in building a business. And same thing with renewals. You've just finished your Christmas sales, right? You're strategizing how to improve your business or grow for the next year. And then you suddenly realize, shucks, I have not renewed my business permits. Permitly can be the one to take care of that. We actually remind our existing clients, those who have used already our services in the past. So you don't really have to worry about that. We take care of it so you can focus on the more essential things of your business.
Yeah, that's very good. Ang ganda nun, George. Tama. I like the reminders. Diba? Kasi
Mhm.
sometimes
Two
we're so
months
focused
before.
on
Yes,
2 months
2 months
before, Miss
before.
Edna.
Yeah, we give
Okay.
everyone enough time to get the documents ready, the requirements
Yeah, yeah. Tama, 'di ba? So again, very challenging kasi kapag yun nga, we are just focusing on the sales. How do we rally our team? Especially ako, I'm in the sales organization, 'di ba? So how will you really empower people na kumbaga, spend time in the business instead of me, let's say me focusing on using and kumbaga, spending time yun nga, lining up, di ba? Preparing all the documents, although of course still need to prepare that. So this is a very revolutionary concept, no? Kasi yeah, you have a website and then we also have an app.
We really
Sorry si
focus
George,
on the app
medyo
just be
mahina yata yung
sorry,
ano.
it's my internet. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry
medyo
about that.
humina.
We live in the Philippines. Can you still hear me? Am I still clear? I'm
Medyo
caught.
intermittent pa din.
Okay, let me see if I can switch to better internet. But can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Sige, I'll try to continue. What we do kasi is we focus more on our website and emails just because we want to be accessible. We understand if there's an app, not everyone can access that app because of the internet.
Okay.
Like right now, we're suffering through internet speeds, right? At least email, it
Yeah.
only requires a low bandwidth, but we do have our own, we call them our permitly kits. Just one kit, everything
Okay.
you need to prepare is there. And all the forms that you need
Okay.
to fill out is there. So that's what we do.
Nice, nice. Very good, very good. Thank you for that clarification. So there's a website, no? They can go to permitly.ph. Diba? If they wanna contact you, they can go to permitly.ph or in Facebook, they just go to facebook.com/permitly. And then they just
Yes,
inquire
correct.
there. How do the process goes? Kunyari gusto nilang mag-inquire sa Permitly and magpatulong sa business registration.
Okay. Am I still clear, by the way? I'm just checking. Am
Yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
clear?
You're clear.
Okay, great. So there, the two ways you mentioned. One is on the Permitly website. If you go to the inquiry page, there's actually a form, a really simple maybe 2-minute form where you just leave your details, maybe answer what kind of industry or giving us an idea of what kind of business you'll be setting up so we can guide you also on the right entity. Same thing with the Facebook, you can just message us or you can actually set an appointment there. What do you mean by appointment? Here at Permitly, we actually offer a free 15-minute call consultation before you even sign up with us. Because again, we understand you're starting a business and it's confusing on the different types of entities that are available there. So we do offer that service for free. You can set an appointment with us either through the website or through Facebook, and then we're more than happy to schedule a call to help you at least choose the right business entity.
Nice. Thank you for that, George. Sige, so let's go through, di ba, sa mga different entities na options that I can choose from. Kasi di ba, I was asking you, di ba, discuss mo naman sa akin, George, ano yung advantage ito or bakit maganda itong ganitong entity. But you were saying what you believe in is there's a right entity for a certain business. So siguro let's talk about first what are the different business entities that I can register as in the Philippines.
Sure. So there are different entities you can choose from, and these include freelancer. I'm sure you've heard of that. Freelancer, professional, sole
Okay.
proprietorship, and corporation. And the corporation can be a one-person corporation or a domestic corporation. And again, like what you said, there is a right entity for the right business. So, for example, if you want to set up a company that will hire people in the future, you would want to invite investors in the future, maybe it will go public. A corporation is the best fit because you can invite other stakeholders to be part of your company and you can scale. But if you're looking at something that's more just offering your services like as a side hustle and you don't plan on hiring people in the future, then that would be maybe a freelancer. A freelancer entity would be better for you.
Oh, really? Thank you for that. Medyo I lost you in the middle, no? But I will just ask a few questions. Like, actually,
Sure.
yung
And then
freelancer and
maybe it's my internet. So Edna, you can
professional.
just hop
Because
in
like
anytime.
I have some ano, no? Yeah, yeah, oo nga.
Yes, sir.
Sige. Yun. I remember in my, I don't know kung ano ba, economics class ba yun or accounting class, that there are diba, usually different entities. And ang dinidiscuss lang doon, yung tatlo, sole proprietorship, partnership, and then the corporation. But I forgot that or ngayon, the reality is there's a certain what we call yung freelancer nga. You register that
Freelancer.
yourself as a freelancer. Pati as a professional. Kasi ako, real estate professional ako. I have a real estate license. Then as insurance din ako, I have an insurance license. And then katulad ko rin ng mga professional, yung mga accountant, tama? Diba? They have their own
Yes.
registration. And sometimes we
Mhm.
forget na kailangan din nga pala nilang mag-register for that. Ganon. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Miss Edna siguro, no? Kasi I think we lost George. Ganon.
Mhm.
Ano yung tamang way or ano yung tamang entity for me? No? Kunyari, how would I know what's the best entity for me kung mag-start ako ng negosyo? Ano ba yung, is there a checklist that I need to follow or Permitly can help me with that as well?
Oh, well, to start with a business, no, like kunyari na-mention po ninyo, professional kayo, to start with, it is best to start with a freelancer entity. Kasi you will use your own name, your full name sa mga business receipts, like sa registration, of course, BIR. Then, yun, there are two types of freelancers. Yung isa, yung professional, like if you're a doctor, a CPA, a real estate, a licensed real estate. Then, the other one naman, parang professional in general, like if you're an artist, a singer. So, there, you
Okay.
can start to register as a freelancer.
Okay. So pati pala yung mga singer, artist, kailangan mag-register din pala yon. Ganon. No?
Yes, po
Kasi,
sa lahat. Apo.
okay, okay. So basta kumikita ka, meron kang classification. I think yun yung,
Yes.
no. So unless so ang hindi lang dapat mag-register are the employees. The employment lang talaga yung kanilang
Mhm.
major source of income. Tama ba? Yan, George is back.
Apo, that's correct.
Yun. So, tama ba na kung employee ako, yun lang yung source of income ko, then probably, yes, maybe I don't need to register. Pero kung mayroon akong ibang source of income, or yun nga,
Yeah,
freelance, yung pagkita
proprietor.
ko, I should
Apo.
register as a business pa din. Tama ba yun?
Pwede po kasing merong as mixed tax payer. Pwede kang as
Okay.
freelancer, registered as freelancer at the same time employee ka pa. So may mga ganyang tax angle yung business registration. Even sa sole
Yeah.
proprietorship po, pwede kang mag-register for your sole proprietor business and at the same time, you're parang full-time employee. That's possible also.
Yeah, tama. I'm sure maraming mga employees no na merong other sources of income. Yun nga yung tinatawag na mixed use. So again,
Mixed
ang
income.
daming ways,
Apo.
no? Ang daming pag mixed income, ano yung dapat kong i-register? Depende pa rin sa negosyo ko. Tama kung
Yes, it
let's say
depends
an
pa rin po.
employee, depende pa din. Kung meron akong sariling
Mhm.
business, then of course it should be DTI or SEC ganon. Tama ba na
Yes.
I just wanna confirm no, let's say yun nga, like ako, I'm a real estate broker or real estate agent or yun nga, I'm an artist. What I should get in place of a DTI registration or a business name is a PTR or the professional tax receipt. Tama ba? That represents
Uh,
DTI.
for professionals like yung mga licensed yung doctors, lawyers, they are required to get a PTR on the
Okay,
city that you
okay,
want to register. Pero if you're like a professional in general, like yung mga artists, I think with a
okay,
real estate broker, usually occupational tax receipt or some cities doesn't require that also yung PTR.
okay. So may
The
occupational
OTR.
tax receipt pala.
Mhm,
OTR,
dalawa.
okay.
PTR and OTR. Apo.
Okay. And just for your information, no, like real estate kasi may license na rin kami. So we really needed
Mhm,
PTR for us. No? We are required. Ganun din yata sa insurance, no?
mhm.
Parang PTR din.
Apo.
So akala ko PTR lang. Diba? May OTR pa palang
May
tinatawag. Depende
OTR.
sa occupation mo.
The
Okay.
occupational.
Sige, so those are the options. No, I can be a freelancer. I can be a professional, sole proprietorship, partnership, and then of course corporation, which is pwedeng sole solo corporation or the regular traditional corporation. Later we probably talk about that more. So I think marami magiging interested dun sa freelancer, no? Kasi ako ngayon ko lang siya narinig, honestly, no, na meron palang ganong type of entity. So sino yung mga sakop dito? And then paano yun? Anong first step? Do I get a DTI name? So can you enlighten me with that, Miss Edna?
For freelancers, actually, if you just want to use your solely your complete name sa mga receipts, no need for a DTI. Kasi with DTI
Okay.
naman, you need to secure yung business name registration. Pero if you will just use your full name, diretso na tayo sa PTR/OTR and BIR registration na. So,
Okay,
mas
pwede pala
simple
yun.
actually yung process. Apo, mas simple yung
Pag
process sa
freelancer.
freelancers.
Okay, so if yeah, let's say I'm a graphic artist, ganun yun, and then like serve
Mhm.
ako, I wanna register my business, then pwede. But ang daming, I know, na maraming tao na let's say nag-freelance, hindi, unless siguro require sila ng OR ng kliyente nila, hindi
Yes.
sila
Yes, that's
nagre-register
correct.
di ba? So, but what are the
Yes.
advantages?
Yan
Di
po.
ba? I understand kasi syempre yun ang realidad, no? So let's address
That's the
that
reality
here.
actually.
Oh,
Mm.
but what are the advantages or disadvantages of you not registering your business? Anong advantage if you register, and anong disadvantage if you are not registering your business? Kunyari nga, I don't know, as a freelancer.
Well,
Sige,
if
who can
Disadvantage.
answer
sige,
that?
sige, if I can jump in. Well, first of all, the main advantage is should any government entity check on you, you have papers to show because at the end of the day, it is a legal. It is you have to be legally registered to be
Shit.
able to practice that. On the other hand, there is that sense of trust. So I do understand some people are able to get projects without receipts, which is totally fine if there's that agreement between the freelancer and the paying party. But
Yeah.
a lot
Mhm.
of, especially if you want to expand, let's say, your reach, you want to work with, let's say, Globe, right? I know we have a freelancer. I know a freelancer who makes stickers for Viber. Usually these bigger
Okay.
companies, and if you want to have them as part of your portfolio, as your clients, they will ask for a receipt, for an official receipt. And
Yeah.
you would be only be able to present that if you are a registered entity.
Okay, nice, nice. Tama yun. That will be the big advantage, right? Yun nga, sa portfolio mo, then they can be your lifelong client kasi it's a big entity, they will be
Mhm.
asking for receipts, no? Kasi syempre, they
Yes,
will need that as
exactly.
well, di ba? For their reports, expenses, no? So, imposible hindi ka nila hingian, eh. Yeah,
Yes, and
so,
at the same time, it'll protect you as well. You have a agreement with a large corporation, right? But technically, if you're going to have that agreement, they can't really ask you to sign an agreement or a MOA because you're not going to be presenting a receipt. That will be technically a unofficial expense. If you are a registered company, you can ask or you demand that MOA. You can demand for that MOA that yes, this company agreed to pay you after you give your services or to give a deposit, so it's also protection for the freelancers as well in the long run.
nice, nice. Yes, thank you for that, George. Sige, so, yeah, naisip ko lang yung question na yun, no? Nag-pop up, tapos pinabanggit mo, uy, may freelancer pala, dapat pala nagre-register din kami, and maybe some people are afraid or don't even know what to do, di ba? So, yeah, that's very good. Sige, so what are the requirements that I need, or for example, if I would want to register my business, what are the main requirements that we will be needing for me to prepare?
Well, that really depends on the entity. So, for example, freelancer, Miss E, Edna, you can add in or jump in anytime since she deals with our clients directly. But for freelancer, if I'm not mistaken, just the government IDs and the birth certificate, correct? That's for
Yes.
freelancer. Sole
Okay.
proprietorship, I think it's similar as well.
Almost the same.
Similar, except if you want to register a company name, that's when you go through the DTI. So you do have to give options for company names that you can use.
Yes.
Corporation asks for a little bit more. Miss E, if you can dictate the different requirements for corporation, I think they have a longer list than freelancer.
So for corporations naman, of course, major requirement is that yung TIN numbers ng mga directors. So all directors must have TIN numbers already. Then usually one government issued ID lang din. Then more details lang needs to be like provided to be encoded or entered sa template ni SEC. Kasi there are a lot of documentations naman when it comes to incorporation. Like yung mga capital, yung of course the principal address, then kung
Yeah, yeah.
yung open or close yung corporation and everything. So if you will avail naman of permitly
Corporation.
services, we shall provide you a kit or a form that we will gather all the information pertaining to your business or information or your corporation.
Yeah, if I may add, why we bring up the permit kit a lot. Other companies who do similar things that we do, or if you do it on your own, each let's say office, government office, will have their own form. With our permit kit, you just fill out one form, and we take care of filling it out to to the other government mandated or government required forms. So even your time is saved on that, since we take care of filling it out based on the one form, one permit form you fill out on our, so we fill it out on your behalf. And I like that
And
also Edna brought up address. Something I guess to note, not all entities allow you to use your home address as your business address. Especially if you are a
Mm,
corporation, you are required to have an office address or at least use a virtual office address, which will be more cost efficient for those who are starting a business compared to setting up your own physical office. So
yeah.
something to
Tama.
take note then.
That's very good, ah. And maganda na mention mo yan kasi I also believe that there are some people na nag-register ng business. Yung bahay lang muna yung ginagamit eh.
yes.
Lalo na pag
Mhm.
corporation. So, hindi pala pwede yon, di ba? Lalo na
Yes.
kapag yun nga, mahigpit yung city, no?
Yes.
Mhm.
Kasi
It's
if you're
not
mentioning
allowed.
permit kit, it's not allowed, tama. You've been mentioning permit kit a lot. So, how do I get hold of that permit kit? No? Where can I get that? Yeah, if you would want to fill that up, paano yun?
With the Permitly kit, we give it to, of course, those who sign up with Permitly. And I guess to give you a
Okay.
sneak peek, it's not just a list of everything you need to give in that one form. We actually have our own journey map. So it kind of gives you an idea where your registration is at, what office is it currently at. And it'll give you also a picture on the process your documents need to go through so you can become a registered entity.
Okay, so parang when they would require or they would ask the help of you guys in Permitly, yun na yung parang first step. Parang they will fill up that kit and then kayo na yung maglalagay lahat sa mga required documents. Tama ba ako?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes
You
po.
know,
Parang
makwento ko
may
lang, no?
step by
2000,
step na tayo.
may step by step. Okay, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Ayun. Kasi 2010, we registered our first corporation, no? So naalala ko during that time, wala pa yatang soft copy yung SEC. So, we have to type
Mhm.
in, di ba parang ano to yung naka-typewriter pa lahat dun sa
Yes.
articles of incorporation. So, ang hirap
Mhm.
ipantay, ganyan. Pero, I believe right now, there's already a soft copy, di ba? That kayo na yung magta-transfer lahat
Templated.
doon. So yun. Pero at least all the details that is needed, nandoon yung sa permit kit. So parang wala silang mamimiss out. Tama ba?
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay.
All the details po na we will gather using the permit kit, it will be applied and it coded actually in the SEC online. Kasi right now naman, SEC naman has online registration and the first step is online registration. So lahat ng details will be entered online. Tapos magge-generate na lang si SEC nung complete complete articles of incorporation template with the actual details ng business ng corporation.
Sige. So that's good, no? So I think it's very you make things easy, di ba? For the person who would want to register their business. And again, I would like to reiterate no, na ito yung enlightenment ko kanina na Permitly can help not just in registering kasi minsan madali lang yung first time eh. ang nakakalimutan talaga natin based on my 11 years of experience in business. Yung
The renewals.
yung renewal, yung renewal, yung next year, di ba, ganyan, or the BIR things, di ba? Ayun. So, so can you, kumbaga, guide us through the process, no? Kasi some people, um, babalik ko dun sa question na what are the requirements? Ayan, babalik natin dito. Kasi a lot of people think, and ako ganito din ako before, or sometimes I forget, na a lot of people think that when I register my name, business name in DTI or in SEC, tapos na yon. Wala na akong
That's
ibang
all.
gagawin. But that's not true. Diba? We get
Mhm.
penalties kung yun lang ang gagawin mo. So, what are the next steps after registering your name in DTI or in SEC? Kasi I would believe no, that there's a lot of people, okay, they will just register their name in DTI and then that's it. Or they will say, reserve a
Yes.
name, SEC. Diba? But we thought, or people think, because including me, yun na yun. No? But there's a
Mhm.
next step after that, no? Which took us six
Mhm.
months to realize during our first company in 2010. Right? So what's the next step after that?
Mhm. So with the DTI, actually tama po kayo dun sa registering a business name. Is not parang it's just 1% of the business registration.
Okay.
Hindi ka pa talaga legit when you registered lang with the DTI. So kailangan you need to register with the LGUs and BIR, which is the next step after ng DTI is barangay, the mayor's office, and the BIR. So that's the usual na nare-renew yearly. With the DTI kasi I think that's after 5 years. And with the SEC naman, you can register kasi like lifetime siya or 50 years or 30 years. Pero the LGUs and BIR, that's a yearly thing, yung renewal na.
Tama. So you mentioned LGU, which is the local government unit, and then BIR. No? Because
Mhm, yes.
we also have a trucking business, diba? So we have a new we talk to new investors who wants to buy their truck. So part of our requirements, i-register mo yun sa DTI na may mention ko. But a lot of them forget to register sa LGU, which is kung nasaan kang city, kunyari ako nasa Pasig ako, I have to register my business, let's say sa Pasig, kung doon ang business address ko. And then sa BIR, di ba? So, na kailangan
Mhm.
kumuha ka ng resibo mo eh. Di ba? So, a
Yes,
lot of
that's
people
correct.
especially
Spot
forget the BIR. What are the
on.
repercussions of you not registering sa BIR kaagad after getting your business name?
Well, pwede kasing sabihin usually ng mga business owners sometimes hindi sila nagtutuloy sa LGUs and BIR because wala pang operation. So
Tama.
medyo okay lang siyang reason. Pero pagdating mo naman kasi kay BIR and kay City Hall, they will charge you late filing fees.
Tama.
So it's very minimal, pero yon, it's better na right after you register with DTI and SEC, you register na rin kaagad with the LGUs and BIR.
Tama yun. So, there's a late filing fee or late filing penalty no, pag hindi ka
Yes po.
nag-register.
And
Magkano ba yun? Would you know?
if it depends din po sa capital and it depends din
Okay.
sa city na ni-register po ninyo. And if I may
Okay.
mention here sa Makati, based on our experience, like if you postponed your LGUs and BIR registration, what they do is it's like they're computing the past years na hindi ka nag-register. So it's like
Okay.
paying for the entire or for the previous years from the start of your DTI or SEC registration. So might as well, parang parehas lang naman yung babayaran mo plus the penalty. So might as well, right after your
Yeah.
DTI and SEC registration, mag-register na ka agad.
Okay. So, as if nag-register ka na rin naman after, no? Ang rule is 30 days,
Yes,
di ba?
parang.
If I'm not mistaken, no?
Mhm.
Kunyari, naglumabas ngayon, March 5. Dapat hanggang April 5, April 4, ma-register mo na
Depending
yung
on the
BIR
agencies
mo.
po actually.
Ah,
Depende
okay.
sa
Depende.
ano nila. Pero
Okay.
more or less mga ganyan po. Mga
30 days.
25 to
Yeah.
30 days.
25 to 30 days. Okay. Because,
Mhm.
yun nga, I get this a lot. A lot of people ask or they forget. Like, tinatanong ko, meron na ba kayong DTI? Nag-register na kami dati pa, meron na kami name, tapos nag-inquire lang kami ngayon. So doon ako naisip ko na, sige talaga people don't realize that pag matagal ka na nag-register and then you will use that name, pag nag-register ka kay BIR, may penalty ka.
May
No? Kasi kami
penalties.
mismo, for our first company, 6 months, it took me 6 months. Tapos nung nagtanong na kami sa accountant, may mga penalty to every month, gano'n. Yung pa-file mo na taxes, di ba? Kasi kami naman
Yes.
nag-operate kami.
Yes. Mga
And that
Yun.
documentary stamp.
Oo,
yung penalties
gano'n.
add up then. It's still your capital, it's still your money. Parang sayang lang naman din. You might as well
Yeah,
register.
tama. Yun nga, lalo na pag nag-operate ka na. Kasi kami, again talaga, I was so young back then, 23 years old when we started our own company. Although may mga kasamahan akong mas ahead sa akin, pero we all don't know. That's our first company together, driven, di ba? It took us 6 months before we registered sa BIR because we didn't know. We'll just think, pag may business name na, naka-register ka na sa local government, okay na yon. And then we're about to, magde-December na yun, doon namin na-realize, nga, no, wala pa kaming BIR, wala kaming resibo, ganyan. So, ayun, nagbayad kami ng penalty talaga. So, I hope people can also,
That must have been so
yun nga,
stressful for
maiwasan yun.
you when you started. Parang
Yeah, hindi
nakaka-stress
sa
din.
akin, meron akong partner na siya yung nag-ayos, so stressful sa kanya. Ganun. Yun. Yeah, sige. So, let's talk about this, no? Kasi ako naman, one of the things, that's why I invited you, George, is may bago ngayon, di ba, yung solo corporation. Kasi di ba, what I learned, and correct me if I'm wrong, kapag corporation yung entity mo, it separates your assets from your business assets from your personal assets. So for example, nagkaroon ng utang nga, yung corporation lang yung pwedeng, let's say, hanggang doon lang yung ipambabayad. Diba? So kaya I've been reading books din naman, maganda yung corporation. However, you need 5. You get to have 4 friends or magdadami ka. Ganun yung ginagawa ng iba eh. That's the reality. But
Yeah.
right now, we have the
Dance.
solo corporation, diba? That's the that's what people do. So kung mag-isa ka lang, pero gusto mo corporation, pwede na, no? So that's why I asked. So what is the difference of registering a sole proprietorship and then a one-person corporation?
Okay, so there are a number of
Before,
different... Sige,
I,
go ahead, Edna.
yes,
Go ahead,
Miss
go
Joyce,
ahead.
before you answer that po, I
Go.
want also to mention na to set up a corporation, you need not doesn't need 5 directors. At 4
Okay.
or less than 5 directors is accepted na to set up a domestic corporation. That's separate from the OPC. So, pwedeng dalawa
Okay.
lang kayo, though may partnership, pero may domestic corporation with 2 directors lang or 3 or 4, less than 5 directors.
Talaga?
Yes.
Pero sa stockholders?
Yes.
Yes.
Stockholders.
Thank you for bringing that up. It's quite new, so you can be 3. Because
Yeah,
before,
okay.
if you have to be 5, so you would
Yeah.
get an additional person.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can just be 3, and you can set up a corporation. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Edna.
Oh, that's good. Ngayon ko lang din nalaman yun, no? So, old school na talaga yung alam ko. Pero kasi yan yung matagal na rin sa Philippines. Matagal na akong hindi nag-register ng
So,
business.
hindi na
No?
natin kailangan magdami to fulfill
Oo.
yung 5 directors.
Nice. Bago yun, ha? Ngayon ko lang nalaman
Yes.
yun. So,
I think it's been
kung
around
kahit
for a few
dalawa lang
years.
kayo, okay.
Yes.
Kailan pa?
If you're...
Tagal na pala doon.
And not naman, it's still considered new, but I understand where you're coming
Okay.
from. A lot of people until now still think that it's 5. But yes, if you're 2 or 3
Yeah.
people, you can set up a corporation.
Oh, nice. Kasi nga naman, siguro na-realize na nila yun na nagdadami rin lang naman yung mga tao, di ba? So
Yes, totoo.
might as well do it. I like it because, I've been reading some Robert Kiyosaki books then in the past or other business books. Nababanggit niya doon yung limited partnership, di ba? And one of the major reasons for that is para, yun nga, limited yung liability. And I don't understand that before kasi walang ganun sa Philippines. No? But ngayon, meron na palang ganun, no? Na talagang 2 lang kayo or 3 lang kayo na board of directors ng corporation. So, but no, let's go to this, no? Sige. Medyo nabanggit na natin pero let's differentiate yung advantages and disadvantages of registering a sole proprietorship and then a one-person corporation.
Okay, sure. I'll start, and then Edna, just hop in anytime you feel like I missed something. So really, the one-person corporation started because it is, I guess you could say, the closest counterpart to the USA's LLC. Because in the States, you
Yeah,
can register as one person. So in the Philippines, we have a sole proprietor and a one-person corporation. So what is the difference? One, as you mentioned, the liabilities. The sole proprietor, when you set up the company, it is tied to you as a person. So the sole proprietor can be named after you, it can be named something else, but all income, profits, and even debt losses
yeah,
will be absorbed by you as a person. Meaning, your house, it's under your name. If you're doing well, great. If you're not doing well, they can take away your home because it is part of your profile as a person. It's that company is connected to you as an individual. Versus a corporation, it is a separate entity. So parang just imagine they kind of created a separate being from you, and that being is the company. So profits, losses, even taxes, because it uses a different tin number compared to sole
yeah.
proprietor, it uses your tin number. It is separate from who you are as a person. At the same time, longevity. So sole proprietor is, let's say something happens to you, the business is gone. It
Okay.
doesn't exist anymore. But a corporation, let's say something happens to you, it can be passed on to other stakeholders. The board can discuss what will happen to it. And in fact, it can actually become a public company. So yung mga things you see sa stock market, the companies there, all of those are corporations because they can invite other owners. So proprietor can only have one owner, that is you. A one-person corporation, it can start as you as the owner only, but you can invite other owners to join in later
Ooh.
on. And then finally, the tax. So this one, there are different pros and cons depending on how you look at it. Because the sole proprietor, if your income for a year is less than 3 million pesos, if I'm not mistaken, you can apply for a standard 8% flat rate tax. But of course, if as it gets bigger, that's something you have to look at. At the same time, if you are still an employee while setting up a sole proprietor, your two in sources of income, the company and your employment, will be considered together when it comes to
Yeah,
filing your taxes. Compared to a corporation, it's considered separate from you as an entity. Ms. Edna, if you have anything to add, please. Also, did I cover everything?
Okay na pa ako. Over.
sige, sige. So, inano ko lang, dito, tinype ko lang para we can flash it here, no? So,
Yeah,
para
actually,
ano ko
I'll
rin.
send you a link. Though I don't think it's friendly to screen, but we actually, a lot of people have asked this to the point we have made a chart. I'll send it to you. You can share it to the viewers. A chart
Okay,
literally spelling out the differences between these two, because this is one of our most frequently asked questions. People
nice.
are confused on the difference because I understand it's one owner in a sense, right? But these are
Tama.
really the main differences between the two.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So, ito, no, ibig sabihin talagang generally, mas maganda na i-set up kapag corporation, no, specifically kung mag-isa ka lang, one-person corporation because of these things. No? It's a separate entity, may separate siya na TIN, di ba? So, technically, dinoble mo yung sarili mo, yun nga, it protects you from the debt because, yun nga, if the business has debts, hanggang yung corporation lang ang pwede niyang kainin lahat ng ari-arian, di ba? Hindi magagalaw ng
Yes.
house mo, kotse mo na nakapangalan sa sarili mo. Yun. So,
Mm-mm.
yun yung main difference, no? And then at the same
Yes.
time, yun nga, yung taxes, kumbaga, yung sarili mong tax, for example, you're an employee, yun lang, kung ano lang yung nire-report ng ng company mo, kung 10%
Yun.
yun, whatever that is. And then, dito, kung 32% yung tax ng corporation, so yun, separate, you pay that
Yes.
separately. Yun. And
Yeah. So
then,
the
yun nga,
question is,
business
sorry,
can,
continue.
go.
Continue,
Yeah,
continue.
go.
Okay. No, I guess one of the things I want to bring up is some people ask, okay, so one person corporation, it's not tied, the liabilities are not tied to you. Why do people still register as sole proprietor? And this is where I want to go back to, there's a right entity for the right type of business. Why? Some people
Okay.
want to stay, let's say, working for a company that they love, but they have a side hustle. They bake and sell it, or they make jewelry and sell it online, e-commerce, right? There are these side hustles, but you want to be a legal entity, but you don't want one to spend so much money on setting up a corporation because it is more expensive in the initial when you first initially set it up. And at the same time, this is something again you want to maintain as a side hustle versus a corporation. This is
Okay.
something you see yourself doing full time for a very, very long time, or you want to set up a family business, right? A company that your children can inherit. So that's really why people choose the corporation over the sole proprietor. So there are pros and cons to each entity, and it's really up to you to
Okay.
decide what is the future for company, and from there you can decide what is the best entity for your company.
I like your answer, George. No? Tama nga naman, there's no one best entity eh. Di ba? Depende nga sa'yo. Well, if you're in a hurry, di ba? You really need that business name already. I think sole proprietorship is faster. Di ba? Pwede
Mm-hmm.
na naman
Yes.
di ba, mag-upgrade in the future, di ba? Kunyari, while your business is growing, and then saka ka mag-register ng corporation probably, tapos saka mo i-transfer yung businesses mo doon. Di ba? That
I
can
mean,
also be done, di ba? Tama ba?
technically, yes. Not transfer, but you close one entity to open another.
Yeah,
If that's something that
Different.
someone would want to do, it is possible, but I will have to tell you that it is also it's a different process. It's a different type of process
yeah,
to close down one entity just to open another. But it is possible. It's just a different type of
yeah,
process.
tama. Of course, of course. Yan yung, kumbaga, di ba, for example, titigil ko na yung operation ko dito, tapos unti-unti, the next few receipts, ito na yung i-issue ko sa bago, and then probably, yun nga, saka mo i-close down to. Does Permitly
Yes.
help with that as well?
We
Kasi
help in with,
I would
yes,
also assume there
certainly.
will be a lot of people. Do you
So
also
we
help
do
that with
help
closing down and then
in
registering new one? Sorry, go.
Edna. I'm sure Edna can answer that just because we're doing that for Fetch, my other company. Fetch started as a sole
Mm,
Sabi ko na,
proprietor, and then it
okay.
shifted to
I think
a
we can.
corporation.
I think we can. Best.
So we have, yeah, we are doing that for my other company right now. And why did I choose a sole proprietor? It's because someone wanted to buy my products and put it in their stores, and I didn't have a receipt. So the fastest
Yeah,
solution was to do a sole proprietor because in two
yeah.
weeks everything all the way till BAR was finished by
Yeah.
Permitly in 2 weeks, right? So that's really one of the reasons why we chose a sole proprietor first, but we're doing using our corporation now. So we are closing the sole proprietor. Permitly is doing that for us, and yes, it is possible. I just have to inform people that the closing down of any corporation has its own separate process. But yes, technically we can do it.
Agree. Well, that's good, that's good. Kasi ako iniisip ko talaga, no, yun nga, just like you, George, that's the fastest way. Eh. Kung kailangan ko ng ma-register, I'll go for sole proprietorship muna. But then when the business grows, I wanted more protection. And then all the advantages that comes with it, di ba? Na ito nga, yun nga, kumbaga the debt protection, pwede akong, I like what you said na it can start as one
Upgrade.
owner and then eventually add up new stockholders. So magiging dalawa kayo, tatlo kayo, kasi nakapangalan naman siya as a company, hindi naman sa akin as a person. So those
Mm-mm.
advantages, when the business grows, gusto ko yon. But kunyari, pag immediate need, dun muna ako sa madali. Diba? So I think,
Yes.
people would need
At
that
mura.
transition. Oh, mas
Yes, it's
mura,
also
tama.
cheaper to
Oo, yun.
start. But we do recommend that
Yun.
people think before they register, just because,
Of
of
course, of
course, like
course.
with Permitly, we also feel bad, not really feel bad, but we will do, we will register the entity you want, but that's why we also offer the 15-minute free consultation, because it is also, like saying naman your time and effort, you're registering as one, then later on you're like, oh shucks, I wanted the other entity pala. So you have to pay again,
Okay.
like the government fees again, to
Oh,
register
yeah,
the
yeah.
other entity. If that's something that someone wants to do, like for Fetch, we had to do that because if not, I would have lost the buyer without giving the receipt. Then fine. But if you have a little bit more time in your hands, there's no big buyer who wants a receipt right away. Then we're happy to hold your hand, help you decide the right entity. So at least you just have to pay your registration at least once, and then just pay for the renewals the years after.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So I would the best solution probably is avail your free 15-minute free consultation. So guys, now you can avail or you can get a free 15-minute consultation with Permitly. You just contact them. Nandito sa ticker natin sa baba. Diba? You can go to permitly.ph or you can also visit them in Facebook, facebook.com/permitly. Permitly. So yan, thank you George for giving that free. Miss Edna. Siguro question ko rin, what are the advantages of me getting help from Permitly? Diba? Bakit? Why should I not do it on my own and then ask help from you guys? Get your services.
Well, the first one, and Edna just hop in. Sorry, my hair. The first one really is the time. So time does have value in terms of there's a monetary value with your time, and then someone actually made a study. The amount of weeks I think a Filipino spends just registering a company is around 3 to 4 weeks ata. If I'm 3 to 4
Wow.
business weeks, I'll double check that study. But there is an actual study who did that, and imagine that time period, you could just spend that on growing the company, strategizing what is your sales strategy, things like that, or product development. So it you actually spend a lot of time having to register that you could have spent on building the company. Another is we are part of the CJ Management Group, which owns My Office Philippines, a virtual office. What does that mean? We have been involved with and working with the LGUs here in Makati and Taguig when it comes to the registration process. They know who we are. We know how they work. So, like kabisado na namin. So at least it's not something na, oh, can we trust them? Yes, you can trust us. We've been doing this since 2004. And we know how to get your business registered as smooth and as fast as humanly possible. So really, those are the advantages. And finally, even before the pandemic, we have believed at the use of the internet, allowing you to work anywhere you want. And with Permitly, that's why we've been focusing again on the Permitly kits, the online processes. So we have registered for people that we've never physically met because we've done everything online. They can continue working from home or
Okay.
wherever they are. And then they just got a notification from us, hey, your items are ready for pickup. And that's one of the conveniences we offer to our clients.
I like that. I like that. Thank you for that, George. No, I really agree with that because time is the most important asset for me. Diba? It's the greatest resource. Yun nga. Grabe yung 3 to 4 weeks, no? Iakyat ulit natin yan. Ayan. The amount of time a Filipino spend in registering a business is 3 to 4 weeks. Grabe yun. Diba?
Yeah,
Which
that
I
includes
agree.
the
Ang bagal
research.
ng process. Yeah.
Yeah, the research, the filling out the forms, the lining up. You still have to
Yeah.
line up in these
Ang daming
LGUs.
forms.
There
Sobrang
you
daming
go.
forms.
Agree. And we recently, parang last year or 2 years ago, we just registered a business. And one of our staff yun yung gumawa, di ba? Ganun din ang dami rin pabalik-balik din talaga. So, yung binayad mo dun sa staff na yun, sa tao na yun din yun eh. Di ba? Instead of this person doing other things na productive for your business, yun, dun siya uubos yung oras, pabalik-balik. No? So,
Yeah,
that's very
sayang lang,
important.
diba?
And yeah, yeah, agree. Ito, may question tayo. May question tayo, tama-tama. Again, guys, type in your questions in the chat box if you have questions. Let me just put up that banner first. And type in your questions dito in the comment section, no, so that we can answer them. So, there's a question from VCC, Filipino Fellowship. Sabi niya, I've registered a company. Is it possible to amend it and convert to solo corporation?
Can we ask what is the current entity so we'll know how to properly answer that as well? Are
Tama,
you a,
tama. Ayan.
are you a freelancer right now, or are you a sole proprietorship, or are you a domestic corporation? Because those
Corporation.
things, because it will actually matter if we'll be on what process you'll have to go through to convert to a OPC or solo corporation.
Okay, yeah, please comment na VCC,
Yes,
Filipino
please
Fellowship.
reply.
So, yeah, what is your entity, existing entity? Diba? Ano ba yun nga, corporation ba siya na marami kayo? Partnership ba siya? Sole proprietorship?
But
Freelancer?
maybe we
Or
can
professional?
touch upon it now. Like right now, Edna, if you
Okay,
are
sige.
a domestic corporation, let's say you're 5 people and you want to turn into an OPC, that is possible, right? Because it's already a
Yes, yes.
corporation. You just have to
Yeah.
amend the GIS. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Amended, and there's a process for transferring from a regular domestic corporation into a one person corporation, but it's not the same. It's not the same like sole proprietorship, you need to close, then you need to set up a
Okay.
new corporation. But if the same na SEC, it can be parang transfer or amend to a
Okay.
sole to a one person corporation lang siya.
So if you're a domestic
Okay. So
corporation, that's the easiest because the SEC already exists. You just kind of have to
Mhm,
fix
mhm.
the ownership
Yeah.
compared to a sole proprietorship. As we mentioned earlier, the sole proprietor is connected to you as a person, right? So you actually have to close that entity and then open a one person corporation to make a separate entity or a separate being that is no longer connected to you, to your TIN number, etc. So I hope that explains. Someone said two.
Two po
sabi niya
kami.
dalawa po kami. So the question siguro is it partnership or is already a two-person corporation? Diba? Siguro yun yung
Most like
question. Kasi iba yata ang process kapag from partnership to corporation, I don't know if it's possible. Pero from a two-person corporation to one, katulad nga na sinabi ni Miss Edna and ni George, it can be done. Meron lang amendment na gagawin.
Amendment.
Ayun.
Mhm.
yes. So if you're already a
Amendment.
domestic corporation, that'll be easier. Again, we can easily amend that. But if you are a partnership or a totally different entity that's not a corporation, then you need to close one entity and open the other.
Okay. That's good, that's good. Pero pwede niyang gawin na mag-open muna before i-close yung isa, di ba? Kasi lalo na kapag the business is running. Di
Yes.
Yes,
ba?
yes, we can
Kasi
do that.
pag
We can do
pinlose mo
that.
naman, wala kang OR, tapos maghihintay ka pa. So parang kailangan
We actually
mag-overlap muna.
we actually
Ayun.
recommend that first because you still have to your other
Tama.
entity might still be receiving checks from your other suppliers or other clients, so we do always
Tama.
recommend to
Tama.
Mas
open
okay
first.
yung nag-overlap. Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Tama, tama. Yeah, so siguro ang question ko is, can Permitly do that? Does the amendment as well? Does Permitly do the amendment as well? Uh,
Yes po.
so meron din kayong
Yes,
ganong
we can
ano,
help with
ganong
it.
dito meron din kayong ganong service.
Yes po.
That's good, that's good. Kasi I'm sure there will be some people, no, na either nagdagdag uh, ng stockholder. Kasi may ganun, di ba, kapag open, pwede kang magdagdag from 5, naging 7, nagkumuha ng bagong investor, ganon. So you also do that as well. Yun yung mga medyo advanced, no? Kasi I believe there will also be some people
Advance.
who will be interested. Like us, for example, ako, nagtatanong ako in my behalf, di ba? Like, we have that company, eh. Di ba? For example, we have a company, 10 kami ngayon, bagong register. Eh, for example, may mga inactive na hindi naman talaga sila ganun kalaki na part. So let's say, sila sa company, pwedeng gawin yun. Tama, add new investor. We can ask permit to help us with that. Tama ba? Amendment lang din yun.
Yes po.
Yes, they've done
Okay.
it because I also understand that sometimes in your corporation, one owner would decides to sell their shares or to leave and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, we have done that in the past as well. And then I think VCC asked, how can I contact? You may contact us through our website, permitly.ph, or our Facebook. That's facebook.com/permitly.
Yeah. So to contact Permitly, you can see down below, di ba? Permitly.ph or to their Facebook. Just search Permitly or facebook.com/Permitly. Thank you daw, no? Nasagot natin yung tanong niya. And actually, that's good. No? Gumagana tong kwentuhan natin kasi mas nagiging wide. Sometimes, when we first talked, George, I was thinking, baka akala ko, ang service lang ni Permitly is yung registering the first business name. Di ba? Usually yun lang eh. Pero hindi pala ganun, no? You also help in the like, LGU, you help in DIR, and then na-discuss na rin natin, nagre-renew kayo. Tapos ngayon, pati yung closing down ng old entity and then registering a new one. Yun yung mga mas complicated that I think people need help. Diba kasi maraming, start ako ng business, register na kagad ako, ganun eh. And then they don't forget, or they don't think of the repercussions. Or, like meron ako tinayong corporation before, okay, magkakabati kami, for example. Tapos hindi na kami ngayon, hindi naman sa magkakaaway kami, pero hindi na sila active. Di ba? Tapos kunyari, isa na lang yung talagang active dun sa business or dalawa. Pero nadudun pa rin sa name yung iba. Kahit pa hindi kumikita yan ng shares, siyempre gusto mong tanggalin sila, for example. Di ba? So that's where like Permitly can help probably. Tama ba? Tama ba?
Yeah, and I'm really
Yes,
glad that you really invited us because it's different talaga to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because we have a better idea than on what kind, especially your viewers, what kind of questions they really have. And the goal naman talaga of Permitly is again, we take care of the unsexy side of business, the mga things you don't want to do, and that's why we're here. We're really here to hold your hand, to help you out. It's not just, oh, register right away. It's also understanding what are you setting up and figuring out what is the best entity or setup for you. So it's really that process, and that really is our vision for the company.
And that's very good, George. Thank you. No? So promote lang natin, no? If you want to get Permitly services, you can get a 15% discount from Permitly by using the promo code of our program, Project 6. Just use Project 6. Just visit their website, permitly.ph. There's a code there. There's a space there wherein you can put in the voucher code, that just use Project
form.
6. It's a proof. Yeah, it's the may form. Tapos kailangan ng voucher code na yun. Sabihin nyo lang napanood nyo tong video na to. Diba? You will be getting a discount from Permitly services. Pero no, siguro matanong ko lang, no, how much would they need to start registering? Right? And then magkano ba yung services nyo? Yun.
So it really depends on the entity. And again, we're very transparent. So if you actually go to our website, all the fees are published there, which includes our fee, how much the permitly fee is, and how much it is to register, or the government fee. So for example, if you're going to register as a freelancer, I think in total you'll need around 16,500 pesos, which includes the government fees and also our fee as well. And there are different packages, and in each package, we really list down the government offices or which type of permit we is included in that package. So we're very transparent about that, the price and what is
Okay.
included.
Thank you, George. So it's all in the website.
Yes, I mean,
Yes.
if you want me to dictate it, I sure I can, but it's a lot because for each entity we have different types of packages depending on what
Yeah, okay
the
lang.
person
It
would
doesn't
need.
really
So
matter.
just check the
Hindi naman
website.
kailangan. No, they just go to permitly.ph, diba? So
Mm-mm.
if they're interested. So yes, guys, no, if you have other questions, type in the comment section. We will be glad to answer that. And if you are interested to ask for their help, they are giving a 15-minute free consultation. Ang ganda na sinabi ni George. Gusto nila maintindihan muna what's your goal. Diba? Ano pa talaga yung best entity for you? That's what they want to give. Kumbaga, they want to help you. Kasi a lot of us parang, I'm speaking for experience. Ito yung best. Sige, register tayo, corporation ka agad. Or tatlo lang tayo, sige, partnership tayo, ganyan. 'Di ba? So if you want to learn about what's the best entity for you, just book a free 15-minute consultation with Permitly. And if you will go through and push through, just use our promo code Project 6, and then they will give you a 15% discount. Right? So yeah, if they don't have any other questions, probably I will ask you guys, what are your final words that you want to share our viewers?
Well, for me, it's really exciting when anyone wants to start a business, and it's one of those that before you jump and register, really think of what is the goal. Again, as what you mentioned, we keep on reiterating it. What is the end goal, or the your goal of growth for this company, because choosing the right entity really is important. And we're always happy to help, so as you mentioned, just drop us a message and we're here to hold your hand and choose the right entity for you, to help you really grow your business.
Thank you, George. Yan. At alam mo, meron pa akong isang question, sorry
Go
before
lang,
before
no
I let you
problem.
guys go. Nakalimutan ko tong tanungin, and a lot of my viewers and also the people who ask help from me, especially yung mga nag-inquire sa tracking business and probably the future businesses that we will feature here in this channel. Maraming OFWs na definitely they would want to have their businesses here. Bakit? Kasi they want to stay here for good. Nakakapagod din mag-work sa abroad. 'Di ba? Na ang hirap din na forever ka na lang doon. Kaya I believe most, if not all, OFWs would want to have their own business here. However, they are not here. Diba? So how can an OFW register a business here in the Philippines? Ano ba yung, aside from all the regular requirements, what are the special requirements that they would need? Or what is the special process?
Really, it's just giving us an SPA, authorizing us to register on your behalf. Because as we mentioned, all of the registration process we have done for our existing clients, we've been doing it online. So as long as that
Okay.
OFW has internet access, just reach out to us. We will send the permit kit, fill it out as needed. And really, at most, aside from the SPA, if ever there is a need for an actual copy of a signed document, then
Okay.
if ever, just be prepared for a little bit of DHL or LBC fees just to
Okay.
send those documents. But other than that, there are no other added requirements because OFWs are Filipinos and Filipinos have the same rights when it comes to registering
Tama.
a company no matter where they live.
That's nice, no? So kahit pala kunyari OFW nag-iisip pa lang or papauwi pa lang dito, they can already start the process by contacting you guys online, di ba? Para habang nandun pa sila, nape-prepare na nila yung mga documents, yun nga, send nyo naman
Yes.
yung permit kit that they need to fill it out, ganon. So that's a great start, di ba? Para, kasi di ba minsan, no, mga OFWs uuwi sa Philippines 2 weeks lang, or 3 weeks lang, 4 weeks lang, ganon. So, to really save time, dapat nagawa na nila lahat yun before pag uwi nila rito, talagang konti na lang. Like yung may pipirmahan, di pag uwi dito, di ba? Pero the rest is already there, prepared. Another thing that I would like to mention is, when we talk about registering a business, akala kasi nung iba, again, it's just about the business name, like SEC and DTI. But the reality is, yun nga, you have to register sa local government, and then you have to register sa BIR, which Permitly also does,
Yes,
right?
correct.
Yeah, so
We take care of
that's
that.
good, that's good, that's good. Okay, guys, no, so thank you for that. Again, you can get a free 15-minute consultation with Permitly. Just contact them in their Facebook page, facebook.com/Permitly, or go to their website, permitly.ph, and use the promo code Project6 for you to get a 15% discount for their services. So, Miss Edna, ikaw, final words mo.
So, nasabi na rin ni Miss George, sa akin lang, I just want to invite everyone who really wanted to set up their own business to uh, visit our website and post inquiry or call us, and we'll be happy to assist you with your business registration requirements.
Thank you. No? So guys, no, kung if you will be availing Permitly services, si Miss Edna will be one of the people who will guide you and help you. So nakita niyo na siya dito, nakilala niyo na siya, feeling close na kayo, ganyan. So just mention to
You
her,
know who
yan.
she is.
Mention to her,
Hanapin na lang siya.
napanood kita. Oo, ganun. Just look for her kung gusto niya siya yung tumulong sa inyo. Yun. So with that, guys, thank you
Yeah.
very much, George. Thank you very much, Miss Edna. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Again, if you need help, just go to their website, permitly.ph, and you can get a free 15-minute consultation with Permitly. So again, ang ganda ng binabanggit nila na i-consult muna nila kayo yung what's the best business for you. Diba? Kung ito ba talaga yung tamang way. And then if you feel that you need their help, then go ahead and book their services. So with that, guys, thank you very much for watching. This is DJ De Maliwat, and I hope to see you in my next live sessions or in my future videos. Thank you, guys. Bye bye. Bye
Thank
bye.
you for having us.
Thank you
Bye.
po.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss Edna and George.